Be present in nearly 100 experiences covering 20 genres. Virtual Presence Productions.
Hi, welcome to the Virtual Presence Podcast number 4, because it's April now.
There you go.
And with me is Mr. Jack. How do you say your last name?
Hello, everybody. Mirsu.
Jack Mirsu.
Yeah.
I have him here today because he becomes officially, I guess you're the first employee? Is that how this is going to work? I'll tell the story of how they became, but look at these awesome cards.
Those are
Jack
mean.
Oh, wait,
I got to take one of these.
I don't like that cut real good, but
Nah,
other than that,
it looks clean.
no, they look nice. Ironically, I got these because the business card he gave me wasn't working. Man, it was a rough business card. Let's talk about that.
Well, I did. I made that. So I was going to the event,
right?
And I just ran out my previous business cards. So I was like, oh my god, I want business cards. I'm about to go to this big real estate event. Went to Staples, spent about 10 minutes making it because we were on our way to shoot a music video. Last minute, threw it together. So that is a Staples $15 product.
Yeah.
I spent 10 minutes on.
All right, I understood.
So yeah, they were interesting, but.
So yes, let me introduce who this dude is.
Yes.
When I did that, you saw if you're following the vlog, you saw the real estate pitch I did. Did you actually watch the? Did you even watch what I said on stage, or?
Yeah, I was paying pretty close attention.
Well, no, I didn't even know if you were there. Like, because half the people came
there
early and then left, and then.
No, I was there for the presentation. Yeah.
And a few of those people have contacted me, but he contacted me right away because he says, "Do you need any media sales? Do you need anybody to help out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes." I hadn't even thought of it. But what stuck with me is that at some point in the next couple days after that, I remember laying in bed thinking, going, if I was only 20 years younger, dude, it'd be so much easier to be. And then I went, I know a guy who's 20 years younger.
There we go.
And I suddenly went, okay, maybe I do see this. So we worked an arrangement out. I bought him these business cards as a client relations, which I think is cool. And I wanted to set it in stone, almost like a loyalty pledge, which is I really admire anybody at the ground level who goes, I believe in this, I want to be involved, and being number one matters. And you will always be number one, unless you decide you do not want to be number one. But this, he saw the reel, and if anybody who's seen that reel, unfortunately it's not public, but you can see right away that this is something that could get stupid, like crazy big. And I'm desperately looking for people I trust who are hardworking, who understand it, and go get shit done. Because as you're probably about to find out, when you start trying to sell this, it is impossible to get people in the headsets. It just is. You have to literally bring it with you everywhere, because right now most people are used to, let me make sure it's recording, I just thought about something with that plane going overhead. Most people are used to text it to me, email it to me, can I just look at it on my phone in my own time? And you can't with this. The only way to show it to people is say, can you just give me a few minutes in your office? I will come to you. And it's a big pain in the ass, and I'm even finding through my meetings with Bally Sports, like you get to the next level, and then they're so excited to show their boss, and then it fizzles because they can't convince their boss
to put on the headset.
And it's like, wait, I don't really have 10 minutes right now. Can you call me? And it's one of those weird. It's almost like having film. Almost like it's 1962. And you're trying to show people you're a good filmmaker. You got to rent out a theater. You got to film the projector. That's what we're dealing with. And then the other thing I thought about with you is my old ass telling you what I think the future is. It doesn't resonate because I'm 50. Who the fuck thinks this 50-year-old knows what the future is? Even if I'm right, it doesn't matter. But a young guy goes, "This is the future," and then shows them that reel. They're like, that kid's gonna mean somebody. Yeah. So there's a lot of advantages to this. But more than anything, you annoyed the fuck out of me. You kept bugging me. You called me, and I went, okay, here.
I went up to you twice. I pulled them off when you were showing people the demonstration to be like, hey, like, I can make this happen. So here we are.
I like that. I don't like it, but I really like it if it's for me. You know what I mean? So, but the nice thing is that all you have to do is get people to put on the headset, and within 2 minutes, they immediately understand what we're talking about and what's possible. So anyway, he came out here to pick up the old cards. Where do you live?
I live
Orange
in
County?
Newport Beach. I visit my good friend out here all the time, Sam, because he lives in Pasadena, and we have a lot of work out here. Most of our
cool.
work is here for our media company, for ranges from cars. We have talks for doing a manufacturing chain right now as well, and mainly music videos for a classical composer, Austin Farwell. So we shoot videos for him as well, and so yeah, so I'm out here all the time. I actually plan on moving out here in a few months, so I'm out here anyways, so not out of the way from me at all.
There's a lot of shit going around here. Like you're close to everything here. Newport Beach is rough.
It's older. It's better to settle down there. But here, when you want to make stuff happen, especially if you're in media, anything like that, how fast things move here is just really blowing me away.
All the studios, all the people. Yeah, if you can knock on those doors at the right time.
Exactly.
Speaking of knocking on doors, tomorrow I have a meeting with Meta, which is the other reason I needed to do this podcast, because I've kind of been highlighting all these steps and what it takes to build a production company. And that meeting with Meta, I don't want to act like it's a big deal, but it's like the head of media marketing. It's up there. It's a head media person, and I feel like if they saw that reel and they saw those things, they would immediately realize, ooh, this guy could help us out. And I think what Meta has made the biggest mistake with is they push that headset as a gaming headset only, and they never talk about the media capabilities ever. They have an app called Meta TV right there on there, but if you go there, it's filled with like blurry 360-degree video. It's not really organized well. You can't find the good VR180, which I think is just better because it's three-dimensional. And Apple comes out, and they push it as an entertainment device, right? Well, on the Apple Vision Pro, and they only have 5 videos, but they're so good, and they put all the eyes to it. Everybody's clamoring for more. Well, Meta's got 20 million people sitting in headsets right now that don't even know, like, some of the stuff I have on here.
Yeah.
They have no idea. Like, that looks amazing, but you can't find it. Nobody's spotlighting it, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully I can get that across in a 20-minute. I think I have a 20-minute meeting. It was 1:05 to 1. Like, it was like, oh shit.
You just need all right, try this.
This is a Zoom meeting.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so
wow.
I sent them all the links, and we were supposed to have the meeting last week, and they pushed it so another person could be in the meeting. That's a good sign. Maybe they looked at it and said, ooh. So yeah, it's a difficult situation, because as you're going to find out, if you can't get them to give you a few minutes, it's impossible. There's just nothing you can email them, nothing you can text them. It doesn't fucking matter. I was working for the NFL, and I texted a guy at Meta, like, hey, can I get a oh, good luck on the NFL stuff. I'm like, don't you see? That took a lot of work to get on the fucking field. And then I mentioned Pete Davidson. I'm doing a podcast with Pete Davidson. He wants me to shoot it. And suddenly, they're like, woo, right this way, sir. And you're like, man. So it's that kind of shit, dude.
I grew up a big sports fan and a big Rams fan, so we know it's like, oh shit, you're on the field with the Rams.
Yeah,
so
you know how hard that
insane.
is? You have no idea the level of like security to get to that point, to get that press. Oh my god.
Well, you're right behind Stafford.
Yeah.
Right behind Stafford, watching him throw the ball. Like, it was insane.
What was crazy about that was the way that worked out was I went out when Cooper Kupp was warming up, and I had a big VR on that, so he knew what I was shooting. And he started asking me questions. And he's like, ooh, I got an idea. Let me try to get the ball, come right to the camera, I'll catch it. And I'm like, haha, okay. And then we did it, and it looked awesome. And so we were having fun. He goes back into the locker room, tells everybody, hey, there's this guy shooting in VR. So when the whole team comes out right before kickoff, they start, like, performing, right? And so they basically set up those plays that see at the beginning of the reel, where you literally watch. I'm on the field, like, here's the running back, I'm over his shoulder. Another one, I'm behind Stafford. I never thought about the drop back, and I'm like, oh fuck, because he's like he's got long legs. Like,
they're quick.
A 5-step drop back is a lot further than you think it is.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy is I had no idea what I had even captured until I got home, and when I got home and I put that on, I like started texting my dad. I'm like, dude, I just filmed something that no one's ever seen before. Like, it's just crazy. So it's an exciting time. Like, we're right at the beginning of an absolute revolution. There's no doubt.
We're in the middle of one, because, I mean, the iPhone only came out 16 years ago.
Well, but I mean, in 3 years.
For VR, AI, It's just going to continue to just explode. So there's another huge step coming our way. That's why when you gave this presentation, I was like thinking, I know VR's the future. And then you said, oh yeah, and I'm with the NFL. And I'm like, this guy's doing his own presentation at this random real estate thing that I went to last minute. I just last minute bought a ticket to go. And you're doing your own presentation. I'm like, wow.
He shouldn't be doing his own presentation.
No.
Right.
Insane. Your product is out of this world. I've never seen anything like it before.
And I don't disagree with you. However, I have found if you don't do your own shit, things don't get done. So prove me wrong, brother. I would love, listen, I mean, I've brought people in here. I want to work with everybody. I don't want to be the only guy doing this. It is extremely exhausting mentally to do that kind of shit. So, but what I do like is that whatever I give somebody, I know you're going to be okay. I know there's no way to fuck that part up. You don't have to show a slide presentation. You just have to be able to get people to be willing to put on the headset. And something tells me your age, which you look undeniably young, I think it helps. I think it helps a lot because young people talking about the future, that works. Old people talking about the future is like, dude, you're in the past, brother.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how future I am. All the people my age, I can't convince them to put on a fucking headset. It's a couple of you, sorry. But it's really difficult. Most people aren't like me. Most people after 30, 35 stop the new technology thing. They just
they fall behind.
Yeah, I'll stick to my CDs. I've always been bleeding edge.
And a lot of people are just scared of it too. I've noticed with AI and VR, they're just scared of it and they're scared of the future. So.
I think they're also motion sickness scares the piss out of everybody.
Really,
it really does. Everybody, I can't tell you how many people I've shown that, and they're like, "Listen, I get really motion sick," and I always try to tell them that's my biggest job. I'm just. The seat is fine. There is rusty water in the metal. You can totally... just so you know, this dude he's with picked up a chair. It rained a bunch a couple days ago. And this rusty water just poured out of the fucking chair. And he's like, oh, shit. But I've seen people that are so not going to put it on. And I'm like, listen, my only job basically is to make certain you don't get motion sick. Because that's the biggest problem we have right now is if you make somebody sick once, you've lost them.
Completely.
Right? You've completely lost them. So I make certain that, and it also means you film a completely different way. Every instinct you've ever had as a cameraman, gone.
Really?
Yeah. You can't turn the camera. You can't do this. Your movements are different. You can't depend on image stabilization. You have to be the image stabilization always. And then even doing that, sometimes I've shot these amazing things. I put on my headset to start editing. I was like, can't use that. Because it starts to make you a little queasy, you know?
Dang.
And my VR legs have gotten pretty good. I'll tell you what's awesome. If you drink a lot the night before, and then you get up and start editing on an empty stomach, there goes the queasiness. So then you can figure out what will make people motion sick otherwise. Have you ever had any motion sickness in it? Or?
With your thing, no.
No, but I mean in general?
Oh yeah. I get motion sickness all the time. I used to get seasick as a kid. I used to get motion sick on roller coasters. I used to get car sick. It's very off and on with me. I'm inconsistent, but I didn't feel a thing with yours. Dude, I felt fine.
There's your sales pitch.
Yeah.
To all those people that are like, I can't do that shit because it makes me
seasick.
sick. You're like, I'm a seasick, and I'm telling you this won't make you seasick.
And I grew up on boats, so I know. I grew up on boats, and I used to puke off as a kid all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to always be puking off the boat. I just kind of got used to it, so I was like, I like
you grew out of
water.
It,
yeah, a little bit. I just got used to it, and eventually I was on a boat. I used to work on boats all the time. I was a first mate growing up. I wanted to be a captain, and so eventually I just got over it. But yeah, no, I used to. It gets rocky. I'm poking overboard.
Were you also a basketball player?
Yes.
Google. That's cool.
Googled me and I popped up for basketball.
Why you think I'm going to get you a bunch of business cards to represent my company? But I'm going to look up, what have you done? But that's all I got was you played basketball.
I'm pretty relevant on Google. Well, I don't have much. I have a LinkedIn I used to be a marketer for a educational website.
You're totally anti-social media. Is that a young generation thing?
No, I was basically a boomer until 3 months ago. The only reason I know about technology is because a close friend of mine, Evan, who I do a lot of work with, he taught me how to film. He taught me what editing was. He taught me what AI is.
Right.
And now we're actually developing our own AI as well. It's kind of like a fun passion project on the side. It's pretty cool, but yeah, I didn't know a thing about technology. I used to never go on my phone, never do any of that, never played video games growing up. I was always outside.
Wow.
But in return, I've I have pretty good people skills, I like to think. So I like to talk to people, and technology, I kind of just adapted it because it's around me all the time, and then so I just started using it a little bit more. But yeah, I only have Instagram. I recently started using it again. I didn't use it for a couple of years, so I just grew up, I didn't like it, and then now it's like, oh wait, this is the future of mankind. I can hop on this and really grow as an individual, be a part of the growth of humanity as a whole. So
it's good to hear.
My opinion really changed on it recently. So it's a necessary evil, but it is evil. Like it is. Oh, a lot of it
evil.
is.
It's rough, and how do we fix it? I have no idea, but it is nice to know that at least the younger generation kind of understands how dangerous it is, and maybe they approach it in a different way, in understanding how you overshare, or
perhaps
when
I don't know. I've been
Yeah.
told I'm a black sheep, to be honest with you. So I grew up kind of a black sheep. My parents, my dad especially, hated technology, never let me go on my phone. I didn't have a phone until I was 13.
Right.
So I just grew up without it, and then it wasn't until really recently that I was started being like, oh wow, there's a lot to this. Oh, and then I just realized, oh, it's actually fun filming and shooting media, and it's fun flying the drone. Oh, it's fun shooting this. We're laughing and joking all day, and it's a day's work.
Yeah.
Making more money than I would slaving away at some job. So it's really grown on me recently, especially AI, because it's just the future.
Well, AI is like, we're in trouble. Like part of the thing that
the apocalypse.
Well, no, I've been arguing that all the people that are scared about it taking artists' jobs away, maybe they weren't necessarily making art, because a lot of filmmaking is just being a craftsman and just knowing how to manipulate images and so forth. But it really is kind of, it's like you learn a skill set. It's like a trade. That's what AI is going to take away. Art, actually inventing, actually telling new, that I don't think AI can take away. AI is just an amalgam of whatever is popular in culture, right?
Yeah.
If you're a good artist, you are leading what's popular in culture. You're change. So I kind of feel like it's going to make the truly creative, the truly unique, way better. I think.
And art's been oversaturated before AI.
Yeah.
It's just, they like to make up excuses, I feel like. So it's like, oh no, AI is taking my work, even though I didn't have any to begin with.
Or, listen, if you make really cookie cutter shit, you know, if you Photoshop really cookie cutter things, you're in trouble. But if you make really original things and you're using AI as the foundation to then build something, well, now that's just part of, shit Photoshop 30 years ago was AI, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was like, oh my God, I can put this in here and cut it out and move it. Well, you couldn't do that before. So it's how do you use it in a healthy way? We'll find out. Anyway, I don't want to keep you long.
Exciting to see that.
This is a quick one, but I needed you guys to know that tomorrow's a massive meeting with Meta.
How'd you score that anyways?
I have been talking with a guy at Meta for over a year. 2 or 3ee guys, but
so
then
this is a year in the
they keep dropping like flies. That's the other thing. The turnover there is insane.
I could see that.
And I kept trying to get him to just watch it, and he never would watch it. He'd just be like, "Oh, it sounds great, yeah, And I was just kind of blowing me off. NFL didn't move him. Nothing moved him until Pete Davidson. And within 24 hours, I had an opening.
Davidson was the needle mover,
right? And it's like
compared to the NFL.
Right,
that blows me away.
Yeah, I maybe it was the straw that broke the camel's back, or kind of thing. It could have been. I'm not sure, but all I know is I was like, oh, cool, thanks for the invite, and or the opening email, and I threw the phone down, and I'm like, fucking 16 months of trying to get you, and he's still never seen anything I'm doing.
Yeah, but once he sees it, your product will sell itself. You just have to get on their head.
And I guarantee you, the people that are going to be in this meeting tomorrow, they probably haven't watched it. Yeah. Right? But it's like, fuck. It's just because I can say the name, and Jesus Christ, I don't mean to use Pete this way. He was really nice to me one time. He's doing this podcast that keeps ever changing what type he's going to do, and I have a mutual friend, and he was like, dude, we would love you to try to shoot this, but we got to make money with it. So then I contacted Meta and said, listen, this would be a huge exclusive to have a weekly podcast with a celebrity interviewing other celebrities. You don't have anything like that. So now I've become Pete's agent. It's like, I don't want to be an agent. I just want to shoot it. I just think it would be really cool because everybody wants to sit at a table with somebody they don't usually have access to. And that's the thing that's cool about this. You are present anywhere. You're on the field. backstage at like an award show. Wouldn't you like to just sit back there and watch everybody go? Like those kind of little things that nobody gets to do is really valuable. And I'm not sure that anybody actually understands how valuable it is until they've seen it. And then they go, okay, where do I sign up?
Well, I got sold on the name drops. Unfortunately, in modern business, we recently experienced this with our media company. We were networking with some potential associates at the Langham. And when we're first talking to them, straight up, Larry said, how do I know you guys aren't full of shit? And then we name dropped Big Bear Cool Cabins. It's the biggest Airbnb business in Big Bear. Hotel Laguna, Austin Farwell. And then we name dropped the consulting company as well. Showed him the videos.
Right.
And he's like, oh, wow. Oh, you guys are actually legit. You guys aren't full of shit.
Right.
And so my word, your word, just unfortunately, you have to do that in business. So that's when you get sold.
I'm originally from Ohio, and the way the Midwest thinks of Hollywood or LA, and they're like, oh, a bunch of name dropping, trying to be all important. And I literally looked at this camera and said, I don't have a fucking choice. Like, I'm not trying to do this.
Welcome to Hollywood.
I can't get the job. I can't get a meeting unless you're name dropping or my Guinness Book of World Records thing, right? It's so silly. It means nothing. I have never monetized that vlog, but I'll tell you what, that fucking plaque has opened doors. It's just opened me. You're in the Guinness Book of World Records. What the fuck? And you didn't have to eat like 500 hot dogs? That's amazing. I want to talk to you, right?
There you go.
Right, and that's it. And it's so silly. You know, if they had just watched what I was going to show them, they wouldn't need that. But they won't watch it unless they think you must be something. They got to feel like they're missing out on something. And then suddenly you get the meeting. So, it's so fucking.
Gotta love Hollywood, right?
I hate every second of it. I just want it to work on the merits of the work.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you know? That's all you want. Just please just watch it.
Goes.
I'll take the no. Watch it and be like, not for me. I'll hug you and I'll walk out. But the whole, like, I can't.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, right. Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, NFL.
It's like, yeah, right. It's like,
maybe you are worthy of. Yeah, no, it's like kind of like a.
It's the game.
Yeah, it's like a game, like a social value measuring contest. How much can you prove yourself to maybe be worth?
Well, the worst is how many
time.
followers you have, and I'm like, dude, I could buy 500,000 followers if that's like, do I
$200?
Right? Do I have to do that just to? Okay, I'll fucking do that. Jesus Christ, this is so stupid. Yeah. That kind of stuff. But anyway, you're gonna figure all that out. I can't. I'm gonna talk to you in a couple weeks, and you're gonna be like, God damn, you weren't kidding. It is really difficult. Like, I've done everything I can, and for some reason,
well, see, I do got these clean business cards though, so I don't know.
It was kind of funny. So, like, what he
those are nice.
he gave me this white, as you said, white, black and white Staples. Looked like he printed it on his mom's computer, and I was like,
Brad, the Staples computer.
I was like, oh my God, dude, this is. I'm not a big business card guy because it's not 1998, but like. Those were so bad. I was like, "Fuck me, dude! You can't give these out.
Yeah.
I'll pay whatever. You got to give out something that has just that you care, right? But hey, it worked this time. If that $15 was just to get us to meet, then way to go.
$15 was only for that event. Yeah, because I literally just ran out of business cards. I was like, you know what? I just gotta use my charm. Hopefully something will happen, right? So,
it's also good to have multiple business cards, right? Like, depending on, it's good to have something for every occasion. So, cool. Well,
of course. Anyways,
awesome.
Adam,
Nice for you to come up here.
Pleasure to be a part of the journey.
You are officially part of it. You are like entry number whatever, 24, 21 or something. Like, you are in stone
21.
in the first and longest running video blog.
There we go.
Oh, and there's a lot more of these. Please check out my other VRLOGs and subscribe and comment. It means the world to me.